Lights are being prepared. Revs are rising. And we will be racing here at Brands Hatch. It's a really good start there, actually, from Gavin Halls in the 38 car. Can he make a move into turn one? Oh, goes tight into Paddock Hill Bend, and oh, big contact there as well. And Lichtenhagen goes hard on the defensive there as well. Marcel Joachim a little bit shoved out to the outside there as well. But Lichtenhagen leads, and Gavin Halls up into second position.
Indeed, yeah, the PorscheSport driver finally getting on the good side of the green. Halls in second position, attacked by Marcel Joachim, remember, a top contender in the AM category. He also has a big rival in Hendryk Lichtenhagen right there fighting against him. So this is going to be a compelling battle right down to the L. But now, Halls goes to the outside line.
Oh, it goes to the outside around Hawthorns, and then down towards Westfield they go. And, oh, it's absolutely nose to tail going through there. Down Dingledell for the first time, and this is where it can get very spicy because the tyres aren't quite up to temperature yet. And it's a big slide for Gavin Halls. He's onto the grass and has to back out of it to try and continue his race into Stirling's. Drops down the order to 6th position, with Martin Donati right behind him now as well. And oh, we've got a few cars off. That's Martin Spalik off. Clemo Andriot as well, I think, in the 137 machine. Oh, dearie me. Chaos here in the opening lap.
So, who said racing was a non-contact sport? When it gets to a race like this one, you can certainly count it at the top of the list for contact sports. Again, that's my prediction of having a clean race thrown out of the window straight away because of all the crazy action that we saw. A Rankconnect.com replay here, and Nelson Costa de Souza just gets bumped nastily at the back.
I think he got nerfed there, would be nerfed
More
off
accurate
into the gravel. Yeah, poor old Nelson Costa de Souza. He's been in the wars, and you see Spalik, again, Martin Spalik, not an enormous amount he could have done about that. It's Gilham Pipers goes for a big lunge into Stirling's. Piper's in the yellow and black car there, goes to take a gap that's probably not there, and Spalik getting turned around. But as we can see, you know, a lot of those cars, yes, they got involved in a little incident there, but the cars still with bodywork more or less where it should be. So carry on, because with 15 starters and 10 going through to the feature, you can still keep going and still sneak a spot in the feature. You just got to make sure you're still in the game. He's got to move for the lead here. Looks like Marcel Joachim's wanting to avenge his disappointment from the heat race. Started so well, and doesn't quite get it done. Lichtenhagen really opening up the taps along the Brabham Straight and still keeps the lead.
Indeed, this is proper hardcore action, and now Matthias Berg looking for something on the inside line. They're all seeking for answers. They're all seeking for that one big move right here at Brands Hatch. But it's a track that's not so giving in that aspect. So you've got to keep trying. Got to keep making sure that the other driver is pressurized enough into making that heavy mistake. And that can happen, you know.
It can so easily. Yeah, so easily here. Particularly at a circuit like Brands Hatch, where it really takes a lot out of you, but plenty time to go in this consolation race. Joachim takes another look into the very fast right-hander of Hawthorns, up towards Westfield, the corner, not the shopping centre, and then down the hill towards Dingledell. And that is a real, you got to hang on. These cars do have a rear wing the size of a piece of scaffolding, but actually the aerodynamic grip is not that high. It's mostly mechanical grip that this car has. So when you're going through somewhere like Dingledell, you really are hanging on the very edge of grip. Now, I want to talk about Gavin Halls. He's got up into 5th position. He did drop back to 7th after that incident on lap 1, but he's really rallied hard here, Samil.
I'm not surprised, Peter. Gavin Halls had potential top 3 pace in his heat until he had that accident, remember. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Gavin Halls in the podium positions. But first, a big lunge right there from Matthias Berg on Marcel Joachim. That, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be for second place. To the outside line goes Berg right now. He has no choice. That is smart defending there by Joachim. Coming back to Gavin Holtz, if they continue to fight like this, for Holtz, his job will become a lot easier.
Yeah, well, it is making his job easier because he's right back on to the leading group once again. It's Gavin Halls, of course. Gavin, a former Formula Ford racer, so he'll know all about racing here at Brands Hatch. In fact, I believe it's his manager's son used to ask him to kiss his lucky egg, like Sanka did in Cool Runnings, which is actually interesting because Gavin's teammate in PorscheSport, Chris Walsh, is an international bobsleigh racer, so they have something in common there. Go kiss my lucky egg.
Kiss my lucky egg. I wouldn't have expected to hear something like that, but hey, if it works for them, why not? Right now, they're making their own luck at this stage.
It worked for Cool Runnings.
Exactly.
It worked for them. Sanka's lucky egg. But yes, back. He's definitely back on the heat here. Is Gavin Halls, and without throwing him too far under the bus, just a little bit, he's actually been taking some lessons from. I will keep who he's been taking lessons from quiet, but let's just say they were in the top 5 of the Porsche Tag Heuer Esports Super Cup this season. So gone to the very top of sim racing for. So even what is it they say? You can teach an old dog new tricks.
Exactly. They've been constantly adapting, learning it. If sim racing forces you to do that, right, always keeps you right on the very edge. Good stuff, isn't it?
It is just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And of course, when I wonder, Simil, where of course this car that we're looking at on screen, this Porsche 911 GT3 Cup machine, this is of course of the previous 911 model, and it's just been replaced by a new 992 Cup car, which has now had its debut in America. It's been in the Benelux Championship in Germany and France, and will be in the Super Cup very soon as well. So I wonder when it will make its way over into the virtual world as well, because it's quite a different car. It's a bit more of a baby GT3 car, because it's got a little bit more aero, it's a little bit wider track as well, it's lighter, a bit more power. So yeah, it's a different beast to this, from what I understand. But you can see Joachim, he's very good down there into Clark's, but Lichtenhagen actually making a nice kind of late apex there and getting on the gas hard and defending his position into Paddock Hill.
Indeed, and you have to do stuff like that right now heading into Paddock Hill when everyone's getting a bit too excited. What's happened here to the 102 machine of Gülhem Pipers? Having a bit of a crazy day so far. Self-inflicted, Peter? Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, well, it's as long as you're not in the barrier, that's the main thing. I tell you what, anyone who says they haven't made that mistake before, they are lying, Simil.
Exactly. It's such a common one with the 911 GT3 Cup car and at Brands Hatch. But first, a move for the lead, by the way. Marcel Joachim, he was under attack a minute ago. Now he's creating out a counter-attack of sorts. Goes to the inside line, and look at this. Lichtenhagen goes to the outside. Matthias Berg right there. He's playing it rather sneakily, because for a second I thought that he would be getting past both of them, but still stays in P number 3. So Peter, when do you reckon this order changes, or rather, do you think that it'll ever change?
Oh, I think we can guarantee that it's going to change at some point. How is it going to change? Well, goodness knows. I really don't know. And I wonder when's Gavin Hall's going to make his move, because he's caught back up to this leading pack quite quickly. And he's on the headlight flasher as well. He was maybe looking for the cigarette lighter and hit the wrong button there, possibly. Now look at this. Number 138, Matthias Berg now getting a nose up the inside there of Joachim. Joachim's got to try and get on that late apex, get the power on, and yes, defends well into Graham Hill Bend. But then the door is left open for Surtees. Such great Brands Hatch racing here. Matthias Berg, he's going to try and hook on the inside line here. He'll have the outside line now for Hawthorns, and this has allowed Gavin Halls again to get a bit of a run here as well. But is there any room? That's the thing. There's so many cars in front here that trying to find your gap is not straightforward, because there's not one but 2 or 3 cars in the way.
I think the motto for today, Peter, has been, if there's no way, you make your way past. That's the way these guys have been racing today so far. intense is the only word that can come to mind. That mini battle that we saw there between Lichtenhagen, Jochheim and Matthias Berg, they were going into spaces that I haven't seen guys go into for a fair bit right now. So when the intensity gets really high, you get to see stuff like this one. Gavin Holtz, by the way, quick update on him for the PorscheSport team, hasn't quite been able to make a move past, and I wouldn't quite blame him, because up ahead, Matthias Berg, Marcel Jochheim and the likes, very hard drivers to pass.
Yes, they are, and they're showing that, aren't they? They're really showing some really excellent racecraft, not allowing the drivers behind any kind of look at all. Tell you what, this has been a superb drive from Hendryk Lichtenhagen. He's led from the start of this consolation race, 10 minutes into it, and just gone past the halfway point. And, you know, you might think, well, all of these guys are in the consolation race, so who cares? Every single spot is another spot on the grid here. So, you know, if you're Hendryk Lichtenhagen, you're starting 21st. If you're Gavin Halls, you're starting 25th. Now, these things do matter in the feature race.
They do, qualifying positions eventually, and considering how crazy it can get in feature races, you just want to maximize your chances, want to put yourself in the best position possible. This one is where you can do just that. We're getting to that mark, Peter. We're getting to that 7-minute marker. That's when things will really start to get wild, I suppose.
Yes, I think so. That magical 7-minute mark. And these guys are just all in one very, very rapid train. Whoa, Jaime Fierro having a big old moment there coming out of Sterling's, but Jochheim's going to have another go as well on Lichtenhagen. We've seen Lichtenhagen. Look at that, Lichtenhagen. I tell you what, he must be a motocross racer, because he just puts it out in the berm and gives it a big handful of throttle there as well, and keeps the line. Lichtenhagen has clearly practiced that line many, many times, because in a textbook that would be seen as wide, but it's not. He's making it work every single time.
Exactly. Lichtenhagen now makes a slight error, and Marcel Jochheim says, Danke, I'm going to get there to the outside line. But amazing how the Panda Racing team car is just able to smartly block off those lines. And behind, it's the Volanti cars that are getting impatient. And then there's the PorscheSport machine. There is a lovely comment in our live chat saying, is this train simulator? Well, the coaches, they're about to get derailed and they're going to change their order rather soon.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Full marks to whoever made that comment. Love it as well. This is a full-on, whatever the German equivalent is of the Shinkansen, because it's a very, very fast train that we've got here.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely superb. We've got 20 litres and 30 cylinders in this front group, and we've got nearly 2,500 horsepower in this leading group as well. So it's quite a freight train. And it's the Monaco Esports car of Bastian Mattler pancakes into the wall hard on the exit of Sheen. And oh dear, and just nearly takes the 69 of Marco Jaeger with him for good luck.
Yeah, Bastian Mattler. That's such a shame. He was doing so well, and he's out of the bubble, Peter. He's in B number 11. As it stands, he won't be going into the feature race, but Marco Jaeger will be. Bastian, he's such a likable personality. Such a shame to see him in that position, but more on that later. More on that later, because this battle is going crazy. Lichtenhagen still not lost the position, but now Matthias Berg is attacking Marcel Jochheim. This is crazy. Remember, both the drivers in the AM category. This matters quite a lot. What is that? Vince Peters, what a save!
Oh my, I bet you his tone of voice is the same, Shamil, after that one. Goodness me, that was a huge moment. Oh, and contact there again. The number 138 of Matthias Berg just getting a little bit of a charge there from Jochheim. Gavin Hall's up into 4th place now. So this is interesting. Gavin Hall's just sat there, waited for almost the inevitable to happen and moving his way forward. And all the while, Lichtenhagen has gone. He's opened up a 1.3 second advantage with a little over 5 minutes to go, and that is a very handy advantage indeed, specifically when we've seen these cars glued nose to tail all race long. But if I know Gavin Halls well enough, Simil, I know that he just can't resist a send. He just loves it too much. You know, he will not be able to sit here forever. He will make a move at some point. It's just a matter of when rather than if. And oh, he was about to make one there. And Matthias Berg says, I know your game as well, Gavin Halls. I'm going to shut the door hard before you have a go.
It's like Matthias Berg is one of those agents in the Matrix. He knows every move that you're going to take, but he's one step ahead of it, so he'll be able to dodge the bullets instantly. That's what he's doing right now, because Gavin Halls, he sends it. You're right, Peter. When he sends it, he is so good at it, but they're blocking it off so well. That is the good part for Matthias Berg. It's an interesting position for Halls to be in. It's a sandwich. Halls is between Berg and Vince Peters, two simracinglovevolante.com cars. I got confused with the name last season. And now, I wonder whether there will be some sort of pressure from behind that could allow Matthias Berg to just eke away and focus more on Marcel Jochheim.
Well, we'll see how these next 4 minutes are going to shake out. Absolutely superb, top-class racing. If you think the consolation race is just some sort of relegation zone, think otherwise, because this is it is definitely not. It is first-class motor racing, and well, Hendryk Lichtenhagen, much like Rebecca Pauline last time out of the Nürburgring 2 weeks ago, flawless drive at the front and under a lot of pressure with a swarming group of cars very close behind for most of the race.
Exactly. That's the kind of action that you inevitably get every single time in the PorscheSport Carrera Cup. Keeps you hooked on, keeps you entertained, and the best part is, there's one big one coming right about, what, 5 odd minutes from now, Peter? That's going to be a lot of fun to see which way it goes. But let's take a look at this narrative first, right? For Gavin Halls, you know, and he knows as well, that he's got pace for getting perhaps a top 10 result in the entire race. Not just this one, but in the entire feature race. It's just shenanigans and bad luck and just being in the wrong place at the wrong time that's compromised him. At this moment in time, what goes into your mind? How do you keep that composure, knowing that you have the ability to do it, but you just have to make and force an error of sorts from someone like Matthias Berg, who's been impenetrable so far?
Well, it's, hopefully we'll get to ask him after the race and find out, because I wouldn't know. I would never be in this leading group. It's it is just that's why it's so good to marvel over motorsport at this level, because that's what gives us the respect and the admiration of a driver. And well, at the moment, Lichtenhagen, well, he had worked up a 1.3 second advantage, but that's gone. Marcel Jochheim has he's destroyed that gap. It's now down to just a quarter of a second, and well, you don't almost really need the timing screen. It's not very much. That's less than a car's width.
Exactly. So it's going to break loose in a few minutes. I think it's going to get a bit ridiculous, a bit too exciting to watch right here. So don't mind if Peter and I go on the extremely high note scale of our voice. It's just the racing, right? We're spoiled for choice, pretty much.
Yes, yeah, I would say we both have pretty deep voices normally, but they do, yes, the octaves do go about 15 or 20 times higher when there's just a move about to be deployed. So looks like, yes, we're going to get one more lap. So Barney the Flagman will be preparing the white flag at the moment. I did see on Twitter earlier in the week there is now the pace car driver on iRacing has been given a name as well, and for the life of me, is it Benny? I can't remember now. Help us out, someone in the YouTube chat. This is
Barney, Benny. It's okay.
I think Barney's the flagman. We know that, but
yeah.
Benny, it is Benny. I was a good guess. Benny, the pace car driver as well, who has, I mean, he should be on the International Poker Stars tour, because you just cannot tell if he's happy or sad.
I think we'll grow into it. I think we'll grow into the name eventually. At this stage, it's we'll get used to it. I think that's the way.
Yeah, as long as they're in the Porsche 911 pace car, not this silly new thing that they've created. I'm not a fan of that at all. Anyway, Hendryk Lichtenhagen leads from Marcel Jochheim, and great to see so many different teams up here as well. We've got Impulse Racing in there, we've got Volante, we've got PorscheSport as well. Gavin Hall's in the 38 car. Jaime Fierro, a little bit distant from this group. He'll get through to the feature race in that blue car with the red mirrors. And look at this, the number 138, Matthias Burke. He is not done yet. He wants to have a go on Marcel Joachim. A little bit of a duck and a dive and a weave there, but still Marcel Joachim just defending enough as they come through Sheen Curve for the final time then into Stirling's, and oh no, be careful. Number 45 of Vince Peters there, putting it on the grass on the exit of Sheen Curve, which is normally a recipe for disaster, but it looks like it's going to be Hendryk Lichtenhagen. One more corner to go, and it is going to be the number 155 of Hendryk Lichtenhagen wins here in the consolation race from Marcel Joachim, Matthias Burke, the recovering Gavin Halls, and Vince Peters rounding out your top 5. Now, who is going to get those transfer spots? It's going to be the number 110 of James Parker, who gets that last transfer spot. And Bastian Matler, that crash has proven absolutely critical. His night is over.
Take a deep breath and exhale. What a race this was, Peter. Amazing stuff.
Oh, yeah, really good, really top quality stuff from these guys at the front. Hendryk Lichtenhagen, your winner, under pressure the whole way through. Really superb stuff from the Panda Racing Team driver. Marcel Joachim in second with Matthias Burke rounding out the podium. Gavin Halls recovered to 4th position after being off.